Hey everyone, welcome to Arizona Drone Tutorial. Today we're doing part 2 of Map Pilot Flight and Data Collection. A few days ago, we had actually set up a new mission in Map Pilot, so here it comes. And under Saved Missions, we created the AZ drone demo down at the bottom, so I'm clicking on that real quick. And what we've done for this tutorial is we've actually connected up our DJI Mavic Pro controller with the Mavic Pro. So here we go. Map Pilot has detected the aircraft. Down at the bottom there's a little camera symbol, so I just wanted to make sure that the connection's working well, and so far so good. So the first thing that we're going to do before we actually fly the mission is we're going to test the mission, and we can do that by using Map Pilot's simulator. So up on the upper bar I've clicked and I've hit simulator on. Now this is kind of interesting because the simulator actually needs to be connected to the drone into your controller. So in order to do a simulated flight, you've still got to be connected up. So that's a little interesting. Other simulators don't necessarily do that. Now I'm just taking a zoom into the map really quick. And what's our next step going to be on the simulated flight? Well, the next step is going to be to go over to the right-hand side with the airplane symbol at the top right. And we're going to upload the mission. So first it asks me, do we want to use terrain awareness? And I say no. And now it's uploading the mission to the drone. And it also notified me about path verification. From here, what's my next step? We've uploaded, so now we're going to hit start. So the simulator is actually simulating the start of the flight. As you can see on the right-hand side, we're quickly gaining simulated altitude. But remember, my drone's actually not flying at all right now. This is just a simulation. So the drone is sitting squarely on the ground, not going anywhere. And so far, it's simulated over 200 feet in altitude. So in Map Pilot, the drone gets itself up to altitude before it starts moving. Now the next thing that you'll notice on the right-hand side, you might have seen the motion blur complaining for a moment. Because we're doing a simulated flight, there we go, the motion blur is now complaining. And what is that about? Well, that's telling me that right now we're not going to take good pictures. Since we're doing a simulation, in the simulation, the drone's camera is currently pointing down at the ground. So it's not getting the right light information at the moment, and that's why my motion blur is really bad. You want to see the motion blur either none at all or just in the yellow, so maybe up to 1.0 inches. And as we're watching the simulator is simulating the flight path. You can see the little red triangle actually moving along its flight path. Now, I hit the camera button real quick just to double check why is it doing the motion blur, and it's because it's pointed straight at the ground. So we got to see that very quickly. So we're not going to go through this whole simulated mission because that'll take a while. And we're not going to go through the actual flight here because the flight is going to mirror what this simulation is doing, only a lot faster and cleaner, so we won't have that motion blur going on. Now, at any time, up on the upper right, you can click on the plane image again, and you can stop the mission. You can also, you can see up there in the upper right, tell the aircraft to go home. So that can be done at any point in your flight of the real and actual mission. So once you've terminated your simulation, you can bring the drone back, bring it home, and actually my suggestion would be to, once the simulation is over, to power cycle the drone and power cycle your controller. And so close and reopen basically. And as you can see, it's still continuing its little mission here. Once the simulated mission was over and I power cycled the drone and the controller, I then reconnected the drone and controller and my iPad with Map Pilot to actually fly the real mission. So we're not going to take you through that one because it's not really necessary. It works exactly the same as the simulator on. So for flying the mission, you're going to make sure the simulator is off. You're going to go to the upper right-hand corner with the airplane symbol. You're going to upload your mission, and then you're going to start your mission and allow Map Pilot to control the entire flight of the mission. Now, as we had said before with this mission, the the area that we're covering is relatively small, and that's fine because this is just a test mission. If you need to check before your flight how big your area was or any other information, you can use the left-hand bar to check your area, check your elevation, and if you need to make any changes after you've made the changes, you can save them back to Map Pilot again. So, what kind of flight data did we actually capture? Was this usable? Did it come out good? Well, let's take a quick look. After flying the drone, I actually brought it back in and offloaded all of the images to my computer. So I'm running a Macintosh. And on the Mac, I actually got 150 images. Of course, the first image was with the camera pointed straight down at my helipad, so that's not really a usable image. So I collected 149 images to make a new 3D model of this rocky area at Pointer Rocks RV Campground in Prescott, Arizona. So it was just a small sampling of the cool rock formations in the area. Once I offloaded the images, I uploaded them to Drone Deploy, and I also ran the images through PhotoScan. So I wanted to see how the cloud would do with the images, and I also wanted to see how the standalone PhotoScan low-end 3D modeler would do with the images. And so what we're going to look at next are those results. All right, so now we're going to take a look at our results. So this is probably a program that you haven't seen before, because not everybody uses it, but this program is called PhotoScan, and it's for Windows and Mac, and it is a 3D modeling software package. Now, most everyone doing drone work is using Pix4D or Drone Deploy or Maps Made Easy, and we use those as well. But I decided to purchase the low-end version of PhotoScan, so I don't get all of my geo-referencing information, but it does give me a quick check on the 3D model work that I'm doing. And if people are not in need of accurate GPS information and they just want 3D models, this is a good and fast way to go. So I'm just going to rotate this model really quick. So this is from the data that we captured on the Map Pilot mission that we set up together. And as you can see, we definitely did get the rock formations very well. And it's a pretty interesting little 3D model here. So I'm just bringing you through it. This top area is the upper loop of the campground. And there's some pretty interesting cliff formations in here that you can actually make out. So the PhotoScan, I processed it on a very low resolution because I didn't want to spend all day processing this. But as you can see, we have a very interesting, unique little 3D model going on here for this section of the park. Of course, I've done much larger models with PhotoScan and with Pix4D, and some of those can be seen on azdrone.net. So there you have it, everyone. In the first episode of this two-part Map Pilot episode, we put together our full mission. We put in all of our parameters that we wanted. And then in today's episode, we actually showed you a simulated flight with the flight simulator on Map Pilot. After finishing the simulated flight, I went ahead and actually did the real flight, captured my data points, so only 149 data points because it was a small amount of acreage. And then just to give you an idea, we threw it into PhotoScan to do a quick 3D rendering. So overall, I'm pretty satisfied with Map Pilot. I like the features of it. I like the improved features now that they've added a full grid mission, which is relatively new to Map Pilot. So very satisfied with that, and pretty satisfied with my low resolution results as well. Next time around, I'll probably do something higher resolution, but it's just this This series is just here to give you an idea of what you're getting into with each of the software applications. So we'll be talking more about Ground Station Pro and Pix 4D Capture in the near future as well. Also, if you're interested in more in-depth detail and diving really deep on Map Pilot, please leave a comment below and I'll be happy to do more. I don't want to make these too long because I do know that people get bored with video tutorials that go on too long, so I'm trying to keep it the right length. And I'd love to get your comments below to let me know too short, too long, more info, break it up into 3 tutorials if you need to. Your feedback helps us grow this channel and bring you more relevant information. As always, really appreciate you stopping by AZ Drone, and you'll see Greg and I in a couple of days with our next AZ Drone talk. In the meantime, fly safe and have fun.